Hello, and welcome to 100% Demon Souls. I am Nerdwords. We're staying offline. I will never ask you to like any of my videos, but I will always ask you to comment and let me know if I missed something. So, the last time we fought the Penetrator Demon, and Biorr returns to the Nexus after we fight the Penetrator Demon, and Biorr survives.
Do you intend to challenge the king? You may be a great demon hunter, but I fear you may not be ready. The king's defended by the black souls of mighty knights and a fire-breathing drake. I defeated even myself. That's how I ended up in the dungeon. Beware the limits of your own power.
I think he just repeats that last line. Yeah. I was right. So I'm going to do one thing before I go into the Valley of Defilement. I'm going to attune Antidote because we're going to be running into characters that could potentially poison us. Excuse me. Yeah, so what I was going to say is that I do have a Talisman of God, but I'm going to keep the Wooden Catalyst equipped. This is kind of a tricky area. World 5, the Valley of Defilement. Oh, the Depraved Chasm, that's where we're going into. The Valley of Defilement is probably the area I see the most requests for help in. So, I haven't been here before, but right when we first come in, there's a Noble's Lotus right here, and that kind of gives you a clue that we are going to be coming up against people with poison. So right at the top of this, it's not a stairwell, but a series of ramps. We've got this guy. I don't know what the aggro range for him is, because you notice that he aggroed on me before I even got to the top. I've run up those stairs before, and he just is usually standing right here and doesn't move. And sometimes he aggroes and sometimes he doesn't. So just be wary when you're coming up that rampway there. You also want to be careful in this area. Don't roll like I just did, because if you fall, you die. So I'm going to put my shield up. I'm going to wait for him to do an attack. Well, actually, I'll just go down right now. Oh, look at that. That was a dumb move on my part. I did not think he was going to turn. Thought he was just going to like go in a loop. So you can actually approach from this other side. Either way, make sure that you have your shield up and take a hit and then react to the hit with your own hit. So there's kind of like a trap here. I think that only happens once. I don't think it happens again. But this second guy on the ground here, he will just always be standing up now. He's not on the ground every time. This is a really stressful area too, because it is easy to die in it. There's another guy with the torch right there on the ground, and we can't lock onto him. So this is sort of a shortcut. You can come down here. Targeting is kind of weird with these guys too, which makes them even more difficult. It's not that they're particularly difficult, it's just that this area really messes with you, and locking on doesn't always work. So we picked up the Morning Star. It's a strength scaling weapon that has bleed damage. Hammer with numerous spikes on its circular head. Considered a choice weapon among warriors of the faith. And that's pretty much what we're going to run into a lot in this level. A lot of faith-related items and characters. So this is a shortcut. That's permanent now. And you see that one guy just walked right off the ledge and killed himself. I just wanted to see how much damage I did there with my spell. So it looks like 2 castings will take out most of these guys. There are a lot of guys that are just like on the ground and then they get up, and once you've activated them, they're always standing up every time you come back through the area. We got another Talisman of God and a Widow's Lotus, which I don't think we've seen before. Widow's Lotus counteracts plague, the petal of a dark flower that floats on water, once used to decorate the corpses of those who died of the plague, but later became a symbol of those unclaimed by the disease. We're going to run into plague mechanics at the very end of the Valley of Defilement. So, I don't think there's any real good way to approach this area. You could come in with ranged attacks, but even coming in with ranged attacks, you're not guaranteed to succeed. I do kind of like to bait these guys into falling off the ledge here. Yeah, there we go. But, yeah, it's time consuming. Patience is the name of the game a lot of the times. Well, no, I mean, I know Demon Souls is the name of the game, but patience will help you win Demon Souls. So I think there's actually another guy over here. I just want to slowly kind of look around. If you're feeling leery about something, attack it, especially if you have the flame sword. Dragon sword. The dragon longsword is probably our best option in this area. There's a few things that are vulnerable to fire. Oh, and that reminds me, I should have switched to flame toss instead of using soul arrow. So there's a guy right here. And that's an unknown hero soul. This is kind of a nice little touch. These little glowing bugs here. They look cool. Almost every time I come down here, I get attacked from behind. And I think that's because there are guys who activate after you pass through this area. I'm just going to come back up and see if they're up here. A lot of times, that's something I should warn you about too, is that the behavior of the AI is different depending on if you're coming to this area the first time or if it's your second or more. Like if I die and I come through this again, you'll get a chance to see it. But there's a lot of guys who are just like on the ground waiting for me to walk by and activate them. Ah, there he is. That little attack there is a killer. If you don't have a shield, I don't think there's any way to parry that attack. That is just, it's almost an instant death in any game. See if I can bait an attack. Because that rebound attack kills them. Yeah, I know there are shinies up there. We are going to get them. When they kind of come charging at you like that, oh man. That's a really good indicator that they might do that attack where they hit you multiple times. So always be on guard for it. So when you cast Soul Arrow, you move your hand outward a little bit. So it can be a little beneficial to just lock onto a guy, stand at the edge, and let your character's hand do the work. There's a lot of guys. down in here in this area, and we don't want to be surrounded by them. Hey, look at that. We almost got ambushed again by another guy with a... I don't even know what you'd call that attack. It's kind of like a charge. Okay, so we've sort of cleared that area out. I'm going to run back up and get those shinies. I don't actually even know if they're worth it or what they are. I just, because I usually only collect them one time and then I'm done. Crescent Moon Grass and Renowned Hero Soul. So, useful. And some more Crescent Moon Grass. I think it's just kind of to lure you this way. And, oh yeah, there's like 2 guys down there. So this is going to be fun. The shield is very useful. The Ring of Magical Dullness. I think I have a moment of respite. Yeah, there's nobody above me. So let's take a look at the Ring of Magical Dullness. Lowers magic power, raises magic defense. Soft ring bearing a light green seal. Raises magic defense at the expense of magic power. Crafted by Jerry, that's that name again. The seal depicts a man facing right. Let's take a look at the seal. Okay. And now, rolling down, this is where we were before. We have collected all of the goodies. And you can see that there's another guy down there. I think there's actually 2 of them. Yeah, there's 2 of them. So I'm going to try and use Soul Arrow to take him out. And do the same thing with this guy. Switch back to my shield. Hey, there's nobody down here. Oh, what a relief. Okay. I don't think there's anybody here. Like, if you're feeling weird about a corpse, just hit it. If it takes damage, it's a guy waiting to ambush you. So down at the bottom of this little ramp well, we've got a couple of guys. And they're all in here, waiting to ambush you. So let's see what we got. Faint Stone Shard and an Unknown Hero Soul. Man, it's been a while since I've been here. Oh yeah, there's a couple guys over there. It's been a while, and so I don't want to have to do this all over again. If I die, I want to get this through in one playthrough. So, patience. Oh, patience and carefulness. So these blood ticks are kind of weird. They can't really hurt you, but if you get really close to their blood sacs, they will poison you. Yep, see? Look at that. I am poisoned. I should probably put those Noble's Lotus here, even though I equipped Antidote. Just having it on hand is probably a good idea. Switch my item bar around a little bit. Okay, he dropped a Marrowstone chunk. I think Marrowstone upgrades a weapon so that you get a better crit bonus. So when you riposte someone or backstab them, you do more damage. Honestly, it's probably something I should use since I do backstab so much. So this guy who's lying on the ground, he is going to activate and try to attack us as soon as we come over here and pick this up. Saints boots, Saints gloves. We'll take a look at that in a second. Okay. I'm going to go back across the bridge because we're actually going to approach this area from a different angle. And once I get to the top here, we'll take a look at the Saints outfit. Okay. Saints robe. You can see that it has pretty good defenses. It's a little heavier than what I'm currently wearing. It has no plague resistance. White attire worn by the highest ranking saints on pilgrimages of proselytization and salvation. Surprisingly tough, owing to its multiple layers. And I think they all say that. Yeah. They all have the same message. So, let's see. I don't know if you can see that. There's a guy right there. And we took him out. So, I guess I'll use the camera to show this off. There is actually a ledge right here that we're going to fall down to, and then we're going to come down into this area. And there are two guys on the ground who are going to stand up and try to kill us. And, yeah. Fun times all around. I don't recommend just walking that plank because I've seen people die from the fall. Look at that! No damage. They can kill you if you're not prepared for it. So there is a crystal lizard down here, but there's also an ambush waiting for us. As soon as we come down that way, there are going to be guys who stand up. This guy that I killed with the arrows would normally jump down, so I'm going to try and get that and then run back, because now that I've... Oh, did they not stand up? They did not stand up. There's a guy right here. I don't know if you can see him. Oh, now he stands up. Oh! Almost got knocked off the edge there. Man. The way this game tries to kill you. Okay. Storied Warrior Soul. Faintstone Shard. Storied Warrior Soul. Yep. And we've got another tick over here that will poison us if we don't hit it from afar. Once you've taken out their sack, they're pretty defenseless. Blessed Mace +1. I don't think there's any special text on this. This is a mace that has been upgraded with Faintstone, so now it is Faith Scaling. Standard hammer favored by warriors of the faith. It's a blunt weapon though, so there are some bosses that actually blunt weapons do more damage against them. And at the end of this bridge, there are a lot of rats. I almost said ranks. There are rats. Yeah, you can kind of see some of them. Oh man. If only I had some fire bombs. But I don't. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take off the thief ring for now, because we want them to aggro and come this way. It's the best way to take them out is to get them to be aware that we're here. I do not recommend meleeing them because there are a lot of them and they will all hit you at the same time and you will get poisoned and die. Anybody else? I don't think there's anybody else here. This is such a creepy environment because all of the sound effects, crescent moon grass in there, so it lures you down. All of the sound effects make you think that you're being snuck up on. So here's the filthy lady. We'll talk to her in a second. I just want to show you that this is where the two ticks were that I got poisoned by earlier. So here's the bridge. I think approaching the rats at the bottom of this ramp well is... I think it's easier to do it from the bridge at the bottom there. And we wanted to go down that way anyway, because we needed to activate the shortcut.
You there? Won't you please buy something? My poor child is hungry.
I suspect she does not have a poor child.
You don't deserve to die. So let me give you some advice. This place buzzes with paces fattened on a diet of souls. You could do worse than keep some lotuses for protection. The price of survival can never be too high, can it? How many years has it been since that witch Astraya came to this valley with that squid-headed knight? Those ridiculous white robes of hers. I swear I caught her glaring at my son in disgust. Yes, it's true. She's as nasty as they come. And she's a demon to boot. Not that it surprises me. You could do worse than the price of survival.
I think she just repeats at that point. So, she sells Noble's Lotus, Widow's Lotus, and she's also got black pine resin. Enchants right-hand weapon with strong flames. I don't think I've ever seen this dropped by anyone. She has also got grass jelly, recovers some hit points over time. She sells a regular mace, war pick, halberd, and a talisman of God if you still need one. And she has rotten arrows. These are the only poison arrows in the game, and they are expensive at 400 souls pop. And she has the chainmail outfit for sale. We are not going to purchase anything from her.
Curses. I wasted my breath on you. Did that witch send you to torment me?
She has...
Please buy more. For the poor child. Such a poor child.
She has a lot of other things to say, but we are going to purchase one thing from her. I think I'll pick up some grass jelly, because I think that's probably the only thing I could use. And now she'll say something different.
Finished already? My little one is a growing boy. Please be generous.
A little later on, she sells the Murden armor, which is the armor that the Temple Knight class starts with, and it's very expensive. And if you show up with thousands of souls and purchase them from her, she will still say that, like, oh, please spend more. So I am switching to the fragrant ring because we have our first giant boy over here. I don't know what these are called. I just call them giant boys, giant dreglings. They have a big, huge club, and they kind of suck. They really only suck because we are in tight quarters here. If you have space to work with, they are really easy to fight. But we're in a tight spot. So I'm going to try and soften him up as much as possible and fail horribly. Ugh. I took a risk doing the 4 shots all at once, but basically the trick to these guys is don't even bait the attack. Just start moving to the right as soon as you lock onto them, because their attack won't hit you if you're moving to the right. Got a little trap there. I don't think you can actually be damaged by it. We do have to come back here later because when the world has pure white tendency, there's a ladder right there. And I think we are... Oh, yep, there it is. I was about to say, I think we're going to get ambushed. Oof. Always keep your shield up. Oh, man. This place really sucks, don't you think? I want to switch back to my thief ring, but I don't think it really matters very much at this point. We only have a little further to go before we get to the boss wall. I think what I was saying before is that there are so many sound effects in this area of like wood creaking and footsteps and things falling that it really throws you off. And I know there's a couple of guys in here, but I have no idea how many because it's been so long. Oh, there's two of them right there. Okay. I just want a little bit of distance. If you have the area to move in, then it's really good to use it. Man, the sounds of people moving just keep screwing me up. Okay, I don't think there's anybody else down here. There's 3 guys. I'll try to remember that if I have to come through here again. Hey, there's a couple more guys down here. Hey, we got some blood ticks. And yeah, that guy doesn't do anything. There are just so many times that you get ambushed by guys that it's hard to remember where the ambushes are and where they aren't. Okay, Marrowstone, yep. And we got a couple guys with flaming spears. We're just gonna pull them one at a time because we've got another big boy to fight. I don't know if you can see him back there. We'll probably get a few more shots off with the big boy. With this big boy, as opposed to the other big boy. Whoa! Yeah. Just backing up was not enough to avoid his hit. What a jerk. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to keep the thief ring on for a little bit longer because I don't remember if there's anybody else here. It sounds like there is, doesn't it? No, he's dead. Oh, that's the boss wall. I don't think there's anybody else. There is some full moon grass to prepare you for it. So I'm going to stop this broadcast right here, and there'll be a separate one for fighting the boss. So, yeah, thanks for watching. I keep hitting the wrong button. What's wrong with me? I'm just all messed up in this area.